Yes, sir! Welcome back to the Dropping Dimes podcast. This is JDR the Machine and wearing Snuggle Moments PH. Today we're gonna talk about the New Orleans Pelicans.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the introduction, JDR Machine. So, for today's episode, we will be talking about the New Orleans Pelicans. This is the continuation of our team preview series for the upcoming NBA 2020-2021 season. Again, for those who would like to follow the podcast, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also catch the podcast on Spotify and Anchor, and of course, through our YouTube channel as well. There are certain episodes that are exclusively available on YouTube, while there are episodes that are exclusively available only on Spotify and Anchor. So let's start our team preview series for the New Orleans Pelicans. Okay, so what are the main storylines for the Pelicans? Of course, they have rising superstar Zion Williamson. They also have Brandon Ingram, the second pick in the 2016 draft, who exploded last season. They also acquired Steven Adams from the Oklahoma City Thunder, so they now have a legitimate center. They gave up Drew Holiday but got Eric Bledsoe back. And then they drafted rookie Kaira Lewis Jr. in the lottery. They still have the veteran JJ Redick, who's not only good at making buckets, but also very good with his podcast. And they have a new coach. SVG is back. Yes, sir. Coach Stan Van Gundy is back. And he will be coaching the New Orleans Pelicans. Now let's proceed to their numbers last year. So the Pelicans had a 30-42 record with Coach Alvin Gentry. Their GM is David Griffin, who was able to really secure the future of the Pelicans by trading away. When he traded away Anthony Davis, he got a lot back from the Lakers, like Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram. And now they have a lot of picks as well, because when they traded Drew Holiday, they also were able to garner picks from that deal. Now let's look at the numbers. They were actually second in pace. Points per game, they were fifth. So Pelicans really had no problem scoring the basketball. Their game really went up when Zion became healthy finally. Defensively, though, that's where they struggled, and that's why they got a coach in Stan Van Gundy, who is known to be, a defensive-oriented coach, and also one of the first coaches who did not hesitate to take or to allow his team to take many threes way back like 11, 12 years ago with the Orlando Magic. It's funny how he's also reunited with JJ Redick. How surprisingly, the attendance for the Pelicans, they were only 24th. But that is probably because Zion wasn't playing during the early part of the season. But when Zion came back, everyone, he is must-see TV, right? They did struggle in the bubble, and now they have Coach Van Gundy to help them out. Now let's proceed. Okay, so this is the schedule for the Pelicans. They don't want to call it preseason games anymore. They're just calling it scrimmages. They'll have two. That is against the Miami Heat and the Milwaukee Bucks. One will be played at the American Airlines Arena, and then their game against the Bucks will be at the Smoothie King Center. Their regular season will start on December 26 against the Miami Heat. Now, these are the key additions for the team. They added Steven Adams. They also added Eric Bledsoe. He was acquired from the Drew Holiday deal. And then they drafted Kaira Lewis Jr. and added a new coach in Coach Stan Van Gundy. Now, as for their key returning players, they have Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, who was an all-star last year. They have Lonzo Ball, who had his moments last year. Let's just hope he will be more consistent and healthier as well. JJ Redick is still there. He will provide a lot of the veteran presence. They did lose guys like Derek Favors, right? But they still have Josh Hart. They still have Jackson Hayes. He was their rookie last year. And they still have Frank Jackson as well. Now, let's go to their stats. Okay, so for their team stats, so again, as mentioned, the Pelicans didn't really struggle offensively. They were 5th in points per game. It was really on the defensive end where they struggled, right? Even though they ranked 13th in blocks and 19th in steals, they were actually 3rd in assists, 6th in rebounds. But again, when you look at the opponent's points per game, they were 27th as they allowed 117 points per game. So, in other words, yes, they were scoring a lot, but then their opponents were also scoring a lot as well. The team in general shot 33% from deep. And, well, actually, they shot not 32%, but rather the team shot 37% from deep, 46.5% from the field, which were really good. I mean, that was 7th in the league, the 3-point percentage, and 13th for the 2-point percentage. We really thought if they played well in the bubble, they would have actually made the playoffs. They had a chance. Unfortunately, they really struggled in the bubble. Now, for their advanced stats, their offensive rating, they were only 17th. Their defensive rating, they were 19th. But good thing especially for a young team that has a guy like Zion Williamson, they were actually 2nd in pace. Right? That was 2nd best in the league. Their pace was 2nd best. But that was really what Alvin Gentry was known for, coming from that. He used to be the associate head coach, or the assistant coach rather, of Steve Kerr before moving to the Pelicans. And then they were also 24th in attendance because, as we all know, Zion wasn't healthy during the early part of the season. In terms of their individual stats, Drew Holiday is gone. He averaged 19 points per game, 6.7 assists, and 4.8 rebounds. He was traded already to the Bucks. They got Eric Bledsoe in return. So Bledsoe will try to... Well, I don't think Bledsoe will be able to replicate what Drew Holiday did, but, produce more or less almost the same numbers, a little less than Drew, but it's okay. That also means that they're going to be probably letting Lonzo... Lonzo, there are people who are very hard on Lonzo, but he did average 12 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds. And he shot 37.5% from deep. It's not like Lonzo is struggling. It's just that the free throws, are always exposed. That's why he doesn't want to drive, because he doesn't want to take those free throws. But let's hope Lonzo can, start getting there. And then we have Brandon Ingram, who was an all-star, finally broke out, right? 39% from deep, 46 from the field, 23.8 points per game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. And of course, the key guy for them, none other than Zion Williamson. 22 and a half points, 6 rebounds. And look at the field goal percentage, 58%. And he didn't, it's not like he shot a lot of threes, but he did, when he took them, he made them. 43% from deep. JJ Redick still played well, averaging 15. Josh Hart averaged 10. Their rookie Jackson Hayes wasn't bad at all. He was, a lot of people questioned why he went that high. He averaged 7.4 points and 4 rebounds, but you could see the potential, right? The guy is a lengthy player, very athletic. He can play the pace that the NBA is playing at right now. He's a modern big, and he's very, very young and only 19 years old. So let's hope, Jackson Hayes can continue to develop for them. And then their rookie, Kaira Lewis Jr., regarded as one of the fastest players in the draft. He was also a bucket getter. Of course, the only question mark on Kaira Lewis is his size, not too big, right? So, well, let's hope Lewis, Dan Van Gundy has always been good with small guards. So I'm sure he'll find a way for Kaira Lewis Jr. as well. Okay, so these were the stats that I was talking about. Again, from Drew Holiday, they lost this guy. Then they have Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Zion Williamson, and Jackson Hayes. So these were the numbers that I was referring to. Thanks again to basketballreference.com for all the updated and accurate stats. Basketballreference.com is the way to go. Now let's go to my thoughts and predictions for the New Orleans Pelicans. So again, the Pelicans, they have a superstar in Zion Williamson. What is important is that they keep Zion healthy. Brandon Ingram finally looks like the player that we all thought he would be. When he came out, he was like Kevin Durant 2.0, and we saw a lot of flashes of that. For Lonzo, you just have to give him a chance. If you really look at what Lonzo brings to the table, he's a walking triple-double. And so you just let Lonzo play and let Lonzo facilitate. If all the noise will be removed, Lonzo is actually balling for them. People are just so hard on him, saying that he's a bust, etc. But then again, minus the LeVar factor, Lonzo is pretty good, and he's also a very good defensive player. And then they still have a very good young core. Then they still have, as we mentioned, they have Jackson Hayes, very athletic. They added Kaira Lewis. They still have Josh Hart, right? Frank Jackson is a decent backup guard. Now let's hope Eric Bledsoe will fit in perfectly to the team, as well as Steven Adams. He'll be able to bring that much needed interior presence for the Pelicans. Who would wanna on the defensive end, like Steven Adams giving a screen, Zion Williamson giving a screen, man, that's gonna be a nightmare for all these guards trying to guard Lonzo and Ingram and Hart, right? JJ Redick. Just imagine if Redick is like trying to open up himself through these screens, and you have guys like Adams and Williamson giving these screens. That's a nightmare for anyone who's guarding them. And then Stan Van Gundy, who's always been known to be, more of a defensive coach, just like his brother Jeff. If they can improve, if they can stop being just a very good offensive team and focus as well on their defensive game, just like with the Atlanta Hawks, then there's really a potential that this team can make the playoffs. Am I saying they will be a top 4 team in the West? Definitely not, because of the loaded West. But they have a chance though to probably be a 7th seed at best. So they're going to be fighting for that 7th or 8th seed, and then at first, I think their worst case scenario will be again, just say what happened to them at 13th, 12th in the West, because there are really a lot of good teams in the West as well. The defense of the Pelicans have to improve, but if their offense is going to be like that, and then much improved defense as well, watch out for the New Orleans Pelicans. Okay, now let's proceed to our shout outs. So for our shout outs today, we would like to thank the people who have been consistently supporting us on YouTube. I've been reading some of the comments from Charles Nobleza, Lee and Matthew Tugay. They've been asking for shout outs. These guys that I'm going to mention: James Perdue, thank you, my man. And also thank you to Charlie Jones, thank you. And then there's this other guy's always commenting, Jaden Weber. So thank you for these guys. Sometimes their comments are kind of harsh, but then it's okay. I appreciate it. Tristan, thank you as well for the comments. So shout outs to those people who are supporting us on YouTube. And then what else? Oh yes, of course, before I forget, please like and share the video. And once you're done, please do not forget to comment your thoughts, right? So like the video, share the video, subscribe. Please click on the subscribe button. And if you want to follow us or all the videos, all the updated videos, then kindly hit on the notification bell as well. There, right? Not there, I don't know where it is. Here, there you go. There you go. So hit on the notification bell, click on the subscribe button, and up there, like and share as well. So that is all for today's episode. We'll see you on the next episode of the Dropping Dimes podcast by J.I. Dimes. Keep safe, everyone.